None of them are even high value. And I'm like, both of you people need therapy. It shook my brain. The spirit of confusion is running rampant through these communities. And I'm here to cast it out. I done brought some sage for my universe lovers to release some negative ions around this subject. We got the Holy Bible, we got the holy oil on the side too. We got all type of things that people are gonna need for this topic tonight. For those that don't know me, I'm BB, Bad on BB. I'm the best aunt on YouTube. You can quote me on that. I'm known for telling people what their mama didn't tell them. However, majority of my content here on YouTube regards health, wellness, and entrepreneurship type topics, and that's what I like to stick to. But as somebody with a platform and people who follow me on social media, I've been on social media since 2012. I've talked about a number of controversial hot topics and never been one to shy away from my opinion. But the reason why I typically stray away from topics that might concern relationships, as far as black relationships, black love goes, because, you know, one more fun fact about me, I am black mixed with savage, you know. No, but I have West Indian descent by the way of Dominica. I have European descent. I have Japanese descent in my bloodline, but I'm very much a black girl from the south side of Chicago. And I understand how, as a black woman and a conscious black woman and a lover of God, as somebody who fears God, I fear what leading people astray would do, especially to my people. I understand content creation and digital marketing on a very real scale. And what people don't understand here is that people who make money from social media, like myself, we do not use social media the same way everybody else uses social media. For some people, social media in particular, for people who don't use it to make money, they assume that things are true because people are speaking it. It can go two ways. It usually gets very extreme for people who digest the internet. And if you are a marketer, that's actually excellent, because it's very easy to manipulate people into things if they take everything what you say so literal. So when it comes to topics like colorism and racism, I don't like to say things that I don't feel 100% on these social media platforms because of that reason. So understand everything that I'm about to say tonight is my honest and pure observations based off of honest, real experiences that I'm sharing, that I had personally and I've seen personally in this community that I'm about to speak of. What brings me to talk about the level up, the black hypergamy, the black femininity channels is because I'm very much a part of that community. I do believe that black women deserve financially stable spouses. I do believe that black women deserve luxury. I do believe black women deserve an equal piece of the pie for the amount of work that they do, for the amount of entrepreneurship and education the black woman, American woman has. I do believe that they deserve more luxury. They deserve to be parts of a dynamic group of love that isn't based in struggle love. They don't deserve somebody to start it at the bottom all the time. And I understand that on a very different level. My background comes from a two-parent traditional household. My father was a breadwinner, my mother was a housewife. So that's literally my background. I come from a Christian background. I come from where the book talks about submission. I come from a place where the book literally tells you your role. And of course in 2021, where everything is going astray, that's not so common anymore. I am very much a part of the traditional woman society, but what I found on social media and YouTube, places where people gather and congregate to find like-minded people. I'm in this, black woman level up group. The concept of level up, as like the Sierra song says, taking yourself to the next level, look-wise, education-wise, getting more money, spoiling yourself, however that means. The Black Girl in Luxury movement shows you what that's about, like luxurious trips, gifting yourself, pampering yourself, taking rest, getting mental stability, just getting to the next level of life, whatever that is for you. Ideally, it should be a great thing. You know, if that level up is finding the love of your life, a guy who treats you well, that's part of your level up. If that level up is getting your degree and getting your dream car, that's your level up. That's what the level up community and the level up videos and content is supposed to primarily be about. There is like subsections of leveling up though. A lot of the level up includes hypergamous talk, which I don't really consider myself hypergamous. I consider myself a woman. Women are naturally hypergamous. As women who are the chosen sex to have a womb to carry children and are reminded of it at least one time a month, and breast to feed children and are reminded of it at least one time a month, it seems natural that the woman who has a chosen amount of eggs and a chosen amount of time to create reproduction would be mindful of security in their life and choose to reproduce with a mate that would offer them more security and resources. So when people say that hypergamy, this is that, it's bad, blah, 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 it's natural. A woman in general, no matter what race she is, and you can check every ethnicity on this one, they'll choose Mr. Six Figures over Mr. Six Pack any day because we're genetically wired to choose the person who can provide more for us, because the idea is genetically, back to the caveman times, that the person with the more resources, I will have a better chance of creating a life with them that will live beyond me. Having a person with more resources, my kid will have a better life, my legacy will have a better life. So that's just natural. I don't see what all this hypergamy talk is only hot topic for Black women right now in social media and YouTube, because it's been known throughout the years, and you can see it within our single home statistics, that the Black American woman in particular is the woman that is designed to struggle with men and do it all on their own, which is completely unnatural and disgraceful, period. And I don't support it. I'm not with the baby mama movement or nothing like that. But that's why hypergamy is always tied into this. But there's a dark side to that. I'll explain to you what happened to me today. I'm in this like Facebook group where, you know, women are leveling up and we're always talking about hot topics and level up topics. I brought up the Danny Lee, the baby situation. Seeing that little exchange, because it went very, very viral, it was just like, wow, you know, it really brought to my attention like the concept of high value men. It's been a hot topic for a while, high value men versus high earning men. And I just brought up the topic in my little level up group on Facebook. Like, man, this just kind of brought up to me again that I don't think rappers are high value men. And I say this because a lot of the rappers that we see in mainstream today, they talk expeditiously about disrespecting women, disregarding, womanizing, murder, violence. And I'm from Chicago. We got some of the best music around for that stuff. I love some drill music. I find it entertaining. I separate it from, you know, my real life world. But in the reality of it all, and maybe that's something I'll grow out of, but in the reality of it all, you can't separate a man completely from his music. And that's why I was saying what I thought I was getting out into this group, that I just didn't feel like a rapper in general was a high value man. And let me sip some tea to that. And I posed the question in the group: how much do you think a man's career plays in his role as a high value man? And I got a lot of distorted comments, about primarily Danny and the baby. Some people actually answered the question and gave me some decent feedback, but I really was just, you know, picking the brain, and I like to participate in the group sometime and start a little conversation starter. But what hurt me was to see two sisters in particular in the group just go off about black men as a whole. One even called me a mammy, and I'm gonna leave the post up here so y'all can read it, because that was a lot to digest. You know, I saw two women in particular just say that go beyond saying rappers aren't high value men. These two women, who were dark-skinned black women, went out the topic that I brought up to say black men aren't high value. This is why I avoid them. And I said, let me be clear. Let me give you a little bit more background on Auntie. Auntie has been through some things with some black men. Some black American men, some black West Indian men, some black African men, probably some black Afro-Latinas too, if I could think about it. Yeah. So I've pretty much had some bad and even traumatic experiences that I talked about with the therapist with black men. But here's the thing. If you don't heal from what hurt you, you will forever bleed on people who did not cut you. So that's a red flag to me when I see any dark-skinned black woman in particular. Because you're not even passing for nothing else, maybe. I know your mom and your dad is black when I look at you. And you're going around and saying, oh, all black men are bad. This is why I avoid them. And, you know, black men aren't high value. And I was like, I've seen this type of behavior in various black hypergamy, level up femininity groups and content. We've seen this on both sides. A lot of people have problems with the most viral of all, godfathers of YouTube, but it's the people in the comments, and you see them feeding this hate talk, about the modern woman and these black women and they're worthless. And the problem is these content creators, they're creating content unknowingly, feeding an audience of hurt people. You've got these people who they have a message, and the message might be for the greater good. It might be for the overall unity of the black family, which is what I'm down for. But the people that are feeding into it, it's like what I noticed from a content creator standpoint, the things that would go viral was primarily the things that were degrading to black women. That's what would go world star. That's what YouTube would push. And I've even made posts about this. The things that will go viral in the black community quicker are all negative. They would be topics around racism, colorism, featureism, even hair texturism, anything that is police brutality, anything that is completely negative energy, low vibrational, is what is so quick to go viral in the black digital community. And so in particular, the women. Why? Because women are usually the most catty sex. If you degrade the black woman, especially now that we are a very empowered demographic of women, educated, entrepreneurial, it's going to go viral quick, and it's going to get a lot of engagement. People are going to snap and people are going to go off. But what I noticed is that when you do the opposite for the opposite sex, the black male, crickets. Like, yeah, you have a small group of black males who are in the red pill community spewing their misogyny and their hate of the modern black woman and everything else. And yeah, you know, they're basically black guys in MAGA hats. But the thing is, nobody cares. Like, when they talk, nobody cares. And there have been white socioeconomic people, sociologists, psychologists, who have spoken on the danger of that in the black community. Like the unspoken minority, the minority group that is the least talked about group, which is I don't believe it's a coinky-ding. I believe it's by design. It's the black man. The black man is the most incarcerated, the most unemployed, and the most illiterate demographic group in the United States of America. But nobody talks about this in media. They get glorified for being feminized and get glorified for being degraded. But most other things, when a black male does anything positive, it goes negative. It is okay for you to disrespect black men on many levels, especially on these melanin channels. You say, oh, I don't like light-skinned girls. It goes crazy. Oh my God. Or I don't like dark-skinned girls. Oh my gosh. Blah, 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 blah. You say, oh, I don't like light-skinned guys. It's jokes. It's laughable. No, it's colorist and it's wrong. And I'm not somebody that is, one-sided. I'm very open-minded and I'm very equal. I don't know if I got some Libra in my chart or what, but I look at things two ways, you know, and this ain't adding up, okay? So I look at it from a big perspective as somebody who studied African American history, who's really into all this woke stuff. And I just know that this is by design. The community, the YouTube algorithm, the Google algorithm, everything else, they do not like strong black males, because when we had a society of black Americans where there were strong male figures, our economic systems were stronger and our communities were stronger. There was no need for black femininity channels because black women could rest in their femininity. Black men were being masculine. They were being protectors and providers. There was not drugs being thrown into the society to lock them up or to turn them crazy. It's gone downhill. And now it's battle of the sexes, battle of the races, battle of the colors. It's too damn much. That's what it is. That's what this highlights to me. And it's that dark side of the femininity, hypergamy, level up movement that really deters me from dealing with certain channels. They'll have femininity for dark-skinned girls. And then some, and I used to really be into this stuff. And some of them, the right topic would come through and you would just see the comments roll in for hate of black men. And it's not all of them. It sure as hell wasn't the majority. And then you got people that snap off when they see those ignorant comments, which is what happened to me in the Facebook group today. To the content creators, you don't see this stuff? Y'all the same people that was mad at Donald Trump for not addressing his Ku Klux Klan compadres for getting rowdy in the stands. But when your homeboys and homegirls are getting rowdy for you in the stands, why aren't you blocking and deleting these people and telling them, hey, don't say things like that. This is hurtful to the community. It's hurtful to me. I don't care how you feel about black men or different complexions, but you're hurting me because I'm in that demographic. Those are people that I still want to grow. And as a woman and as a black woman, I might not, who knows who I'm going to end up marrying. I might end up marrying out of my culture or ethnicity or whatever. But I'm never going to degrade myself as a black woman to hating all black men because a couple of them hurt me. And I'm telling you, as someone who's been sexually assaulted by black men, physically assaulted by black men, embarrassed, harassed by black men, more than any other race has done that to me. However, I've healed. I want more. My message today is exposure about what's going on in these toxic content creating digital marketing cycles, like what the big picture is and why this content is being pushed out, how it's being pushed out, because I want people to understand the unity of black family in particular, black love in particular, is not like other love groups in the US of A. It could be comparable to Native Americans, but that's about it. Nobody else had the history in this country that we did. So anything that can be done to divide and throw us against each other, it's gonna go It's going to get more airplay. And that's for a reason. And I want people to know that. And when you know it, you can't unknow it. So if you're watching this, now you know. Now you know, hey, what's making me feel this way? I had to take a step back for some time when I was getting really, really mad at some stuff. It was a lot of racial tension in the air. It was all this COVID stuff in the air. And I was like, dang, I was mad. I was finding myself, all I was doing was being on the internet. I wasn't even outside. And I'm like, dang, I'm mad at this group today. I'm mad at this group of people. And I realized that's not even me. I'm a child of God. I don't hate nobody. I have friends from all over the world. I got viewers and lovers and people who straight up love me, support my business, support my life from all over the world. I don't hate nobody. I especially would look stupid as a black person to hate my own people. And people don't even see that logically. They're not even understanding that a lot of the energy that you're picking up is you just regurgitating stuff that you're subconsciously taking in. That's why I had the sage out here earlier. You need to cleanse yourself. You need to get some of that off your energy. Sometimes you got to log off. Sometimes you really have to go see a therapist. My point tonight is I want people to heal from this trauma so that we can stop looking at the black man or the black woman, if you're part of the red pill, the deep red pill community, because that's what's crazy. The red pill community is similar to this black level up community. It didn't start off with the intentions of saying, these women ain't nests, these women ain't nothing, none of them are good. It was supposed to be like the equivalent of the black level up woman. It's supposed to be men learning how to get themselves together and be themselves and not rely on a woman for validation. That's what the level up group I thought was supposed to be about. Us getting to the next level, not needing a man for validation necessarily, but just, being the best version of ourselves. And yet both of these communities attract people who are hurt and use the platforms in these communities to spew hate. And not just any hate, but self-hate. You got the black red pills talking about these black women ain't this and that, and you got the black level up girls talking about, and I don't date black men, and that's why none of them are even high value men. What are you talking about? And I'm like, both of you people need therapy. And I'm auntie. I gotta tell you what your mama didn't tell you. I'm trying to tell you, there was a woman who called me derogatory slave terms that would have never even applied. Like, I couldn't believe it was a black woman telling me this today. And it shook my brain. The spirit of confusion is running rampant through these communities. And I'm here to cast it out. Give me some holy water. I ain't mean to preach today, but I had to tell you what your mama didn't tell you because this has been on my spirit. Clearly something wants me to talk about this. For the crazies to come out like this. I mean, so in conclusion, guys, get you some fruit punch tea, y'all. Click the link. Get you some fruit punch tea. Get a nice colon cleanse, and it tastes like hot Kool-Aid. It's delicious. As the content creator, as the leader, as the shepherd, you have to make sure and be conscious that you're not leading people astray. And as a black content creator, if you're in the relationship, level up, femininity, hypergamy space, you need to be mindful of that, especially if you call yourself a God-loving or God-fearing spiritual person. There will be consequences for leading people astray or allowing people to go astray. And y'all thought y'all saw it with Derrick Jackson, with all that pandering he was doing. But it's deeper than that, okay? So, Auntie just finna leave y'all with this. I love, none of this was hate. I'll try to keep it as unshady as possible, unless you are like a colorist or self-hater, then I take all the shade. The shade is for you. But even with that, I want to send healing to anybody who has been through a traumatic experience. I want to let you know that I am available for you to speak to. You can contact me via social media if you just need to vent, if this video touched you in some type of way and you feel like something in your spirit is calling you to finally speak something that you never really spoke before that might have affected you. Because trauma is real and it has affected my community of people for too long. And we have to relinquish them holds so that we can advance in society, so that we can love one another. And I say this deeply as an auntie growing up in Chicago, where we have so many of our brothers killing each other or trying to kill each other and instead killing random kids. So I'm saying this because the world needs more love. I'm saying this because we need more healing in our homes and in our families. And that's where it starts. So anything that speaks against the division of families, of people I love, I'm not for. I'm aware that there are differences, but mainly it's a lack of love in our community for one another. And that has been spread through our communities by design. And it's unconscious to many people. So as a conscious person, as somebody with a platform, I feel like a little bit of responsibility to say that to some of you today. And I've been saying it in lesser terms, but over my social media, again, I don't usually use my YouTube platform to really discuss topics like this too often. But I feel like I was called to do it. So I had to do it. And this is that. So I feel like a lot lighter in my chest right now. Thank goodness. I'm going to do me some breaths. You know, get back to my health and wellness, my meditation, do a couple breaths. My health matters. Join my challenge. I'm going to talk about that later. And in the meantime, in between time, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you took away from this. If there's something that you want to share. I really do read all my comments myself. I'm not like a big time celebrity or nothing like that. I do comment to people. The only time I don't comment back is sometimes YouTube doesn't tell me when people leave a comment. Or I think that it like spam filters some things out. I don't know, but if you really want to say something to me, check me out on my social media. I love hearing from you guys. There is no community without the you and the I. And Auntie loves you, okay? I really do. I might have touched some people tonight. Hopefully you picked up some of my healing energy. But for real, Auntie loves you, okay? Until next time, it's your girl, Bad Aunt BB, over and out.